No. Hey, 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 happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is doing great today. I am Mackenzie Miller, and welcome to episode 14 of Ask Mackenzie. And you guys want to know why I am super excited for today's episode? Well, it's because we're doing something different. Every week you see me and only me, and we are all engaging in the chat. We're talking with one another. But today I have a special guest that is going to be joining us, and I am super stoked about it. So without further ado, I am going to bring in DEE Gray, former draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's up, DEE? How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited, man, to come in and just wrap it up with you a little bit.
Oh my God, yeah. So you guys, D and I are from the same area. We're DMV represent, right?
Yeah, you already know DC, Maryland, Virginia, everything, man. So we all won, you know what I mean? I don't like that Penn State thing back there. I was a Terp, but it's cool. It's cool. I've been eyeing that down for a second now.
It's okay. It's okay. I know. We haven't talked about that. But yeah, no, it's funny. When D and I met, we realized we had all these mutual connections, mutual friends. I went to high school with Stephon Diggs. He played with Stephon Diggs in college, and a bunch of other guys. So it's such a small world. So glad to have met you, and now we can talk Steelers together.
Definitely, man. We got Steelers in common. You're a big Steeler fan. I played with the Steelers, so it's crazy, man. There's so much we could talk about. You don't know where to start at, you know what I mean? So
yeah, no, exactly. And I also just want to say hi to the chat, everybody that comes in week after week. Hello, everybody. Hello, Raghu. Hello, George. George says, hey. Hola, Pittsburgh. Toddy from Tucson, Arizona. It is going to be a great day. Thank you guys for coming back. But yeah, no, we're just going to get the ball rolling. Okay, so we are what? 2 weeks? So 2 weeks tomorrow is going to be the draft, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks tomorrow. And the craziest thing about this offseason and this year to me is that we've made so many moves in this offseason that we are not used to, right? So we first started with the Patrick Peterson move, and then we finally got a few O linemen, then we got some defense, and then yesterday signed Aaron Watts. And I just keep getting more and more and more surprised with the Steelers. Are you surprised with how things are going for us so far during this free agency, and are you excited for what is to come with the draft?
Well, I'm always super excited for Pittsburgh. I'm always got love for Pittsburgh. I mean, that's one of my favorite teams. I mean, not growing up, but when I played for the Steelers, it became one of my favorite places to play after me going to different teams, like a couple other teams, and seeing the culture there in Pittsburgh. But man, I'm not surprised that Tomlin is making these key moves like that, because Tom is always a guy that's about what you done for me lately type of guy. You know what I mean? He's always looking for A-list type of guys. He's always looking for guys to come in that he don't got to do a lot of coaching, man. He want to coach grown ass men. I don't mean to curse, but that's the way he says. He want to coach grown men. And that's some of the things we talked about in my previous podcast with my guy on 3 Point Stance about Joey Porter Jr. And I know everyone's high on him right now. And Patrick Peterson being the leader of that room, and bringing him in was like key. Losing Joe Hayden is my guy, DMV guy once again, Joe Money Jumpman Joe. But losing him and bringing another veteran in like that, like Patrick Peterson, man, it's pivotal, because when you're looking at trying to bring a guy like Joey Porter Jr. in, he gonna need someone to teach him how to be a pro. Joey Porter Jr. has all the gifts and tools to be a top contributor for that defense. And I mean, wherever it's going to be, he got length, he's 6'2", he got long arms. I mean, man, he can come in and play right away. So I don't see no other reason things are holding him back besides mental things, like fast him taking care of his body and understanding the playbook and how to play fast on his level. So, but man, other than that, man, I'm not surprised that Mike T making these type of moves, man, because he's always going to be the top of the North. You know what I mean? That's always been his goal, is to always shut down the Ravens. Definitely beat the brakes off of Cleveland and Cincinnati every year. So, man, I mean, it's crazy, man. So I'm kind of super excited, man, to see what happens with the Steelers this year.
I love that. And now you mentioned Joey Porter Jr., and that's just that's a player that I actually kind of want to dive into, ask you a few questions about. I've seen a lot of people say that, you know, Joey Porter Jr.'s stats don't set him up to be an immediate contributor for the Steelers. And I'm over here thinking, well, yeah, I understand that. But also, Joey has elements to him that other players don't have, right? He grew up literally in the Pittsburgh locker room with his father. He has been, they know him. And in years past, we know Mike Tomlin does what he does best. He knows what he's doing. He does everything for a reason, right? I think a big reason on us getting Kenny Pickett last season was his familiarity with Pittsburgh, right?
I mean, let's take it back from the time when I was there. We got James Conner. That's a guy right in the backyard. You know what I mean? It's like Pittsburgh. I won't say they're particular about who they get, but it's very detailed of why they get certain people. And they love people that's familiar with Pittsburgh, or either from Pittsburgh or some type of ties to Pittsburgh. And as you see over the years, man, since the time I was there, I've seen so many players leave and return back to Pittsburgh. Like Ola, we was with me and him played together in Tennessee. Ola Deeney, he left, and then when he left Tennessee, he went straight to Pittsburgh on a workout to get him back there. Of course, he didn't pass the medical things, but they had interest in bringing him back. And now another hot topic is Bud. You know what I mean? Trying to get Bud back. So it's like it's like a list can go on, man. From my guy Sean Davis, another Maryland guy. When I got there, they released him. He went to the Redskins for a couple months, and guess what? A month later, he's back. And it's just like, why do they keep doing this? Because they love guys that understand their system, that they don't have to do a lot of coaching. Once again, you can come in and play. You know what I mean? So that's why, man, I just think that Joey Porter is going to be very pivotal how fast he can learn this system and be a pro, man. And man, he got great guys in the room, man. James Pierre is a guy, was a young guy. I remember he came in with me, man. He was an undrafted guy, worked his tail off. So if I'm Joey Porter Jr., I want to get with guys like James Pierre that started from the bottom. And I'm saying now he's re-signing back again. Now he's about to be one of the leaders in the room. So Joey Porter, man, definitely the sky's the limit for him. But once again, he has to get the mental part.
I agree with that. And right here we have a question actually from someone in the chat, Pittsburgh Toddy. Hi, Joey Porter Jr. had one pick during his college career. Is this concerning in any way? And I only ask because people love to compare stats, right? And they say that, oh, your stats are going to be who you're going to be in the NFL. No, that's never the case, right? So what do you have to say to that?
My thing is to Ben, so we just covered this like 2 days ago. Jay, I mean, look at his stats, man. Stats doesn't align to the type of player he is. But if you look at his highlights, he plays fast, he's physical, he's swarming all over the ball. I mean, I compare it to Marlon Humphrey. He's a guy that's just like a knack. He's always on, like, get off me. You know what I mean? He's always around the ball. Whether he catch an interception or not, he's always on the ball and making catches hard for receivers to do that. You know what I mean? And I think that I wouldn't really look, if I'm a person out here looking into JPJ, I wouldn't worry too much about his stats. I worry about what he can bring to a team, and what he's bringing is physicality and people not catching the ball on him. So I'd rather have literally no picks and no one caught a pass on him than I'm saying he have 2 picks and he's giving up 100 touchdowns a game. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So me personally, how many times have you been beat? Let's look at that stat. It ain't too many times he's been beat or out physical or anything like that. I mean, of course, he's tall. He has some teeth in his hips. He's tight in the hip.
He's a physical tackler. You know, he's
a physical. He plays like his dad at corner. You know what I mean? He plays physical. He puts his hands on people. Yes, he has some deficiencies. He's stiff. He's tall. He's 6'2". Oh, he talk about his 40. He's running 4.4s. But he can do that when you have arms almost of an 8-footer. When he did his wingspan, his arms almost 8 feet tall. So he can be 2 yards trailing behind a receiver and still tip the ball away. So that makes up the difference of not being a 4.2 guy. You know what I mean? So people got to understand those type of things. You think about drafting guys that could be great in that system. And Pittsburgh is about physicality than anything. Mike Hilton, the guy that I have much respect for, that I was there with, dude was nothing but knee high, but he had a heart of a lion and he knew how to play physical, because that's the thing. That's still Curtin way, is to play physical. So Joey Porter is a perfect guy for that system.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm right there with you. And it's funny because I I was thinking as soon as we got Patrick Peterson, I'm like, what better person for someone like Joey Porter Jr. to learn from, right? Someone that you can grow up, someone with that experience, and someone that they can help each other bring a very, very, very strong corner to the Steelers. So that is something that I've been saying, because not just because I love my Nittany Lions, but because Joey has all of these characteristics to him that not a lot of other players have. So let's just say, okay, draft day comes and Joey Porter Jr. is not on the board anymore. Who are we going to? If, let's just say, he might be the first corner taken off the board. What are you thinking? What could happen?
See, my thing is too, I'm big in the offensive line and protection of quarterback. Kenny Pickett is only good if people keep him upright, which is the key position on the field is offensive line. And right now, they went out and did a great job getting two guys to come fill in those roles in the offensive line spot. But me personally, my eyes are super glued into right now to Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. Man, that video of him doing that kick slide, jump in the air, spin, it was a ridiculous video of him doing this crazy drill that made no sense, but the way how smooth he made it look, that might be now a new combine drill they might bring introduced because of how well he did that drill. And right there caught my attention about the speed of this game and how fast these edge rushes are. And Chooks had kind of a quiet year this year. And Chooks is my best friend. I hate doing this right now, but Chooks is that's like one of my best friends right now, the right tackle. But he had kind of a quiet year, and he just came off a contract extension year, and I mean, a lot of people, I sent a lot of tweets about people just not really sold on him, like he may have been overpaid, and I don't agree that he been overpaid, but they might be looking elsewhere to find a right tackle right now. You know what I mean? And if they choose to go this route, I choose to go find a guy like Paris Johnson. You know what I mean? Or Peter Skoronsky from Northwestern. I like him a lot too as well. And I'm saying he might not be a tackle, but man, Paris Johnson Jr., man, I'm sold on him. I really hope the Steelers can find a way to grab that guy, man, because you're gonna have a solid right tackle or left tackle, whatever position he play between him and Dan Moore's spot. He gonna be solid for years to come. You know what I mean? Potential Pro Bowler, all pro guy. You know what I mean? That's a guy that's really owned in on his craft.
No, I love that, and I agree with what you're saying there, and that kind of pivots me to my next topic of question about trading up on draft day. Okay, has been a rumor of its own recently, right? We haven't done this. We haven't done this in a while. We haven't really done this in a while, right? And Omar has made it apparent that draft day comes and we are put in the right position, right? Who are we gonna draft up? Who do you see us drafting up for if we would draft up? Do you see us drafting up for Joey Porter Jr.? Do you see us rather drafting up for a lineman, hoping that Joey Porter Jr. will still be there down the road? I want to know what you think.
That's tough, man, because the hype around JPJ right now is just crazy because it's just crazy, man, that I can see them literally drafting up high. I mean, trading up higher to get him just because of the hype right now. And I mean, once again, like you can see on his combine videos, he glowing up every time you hear about the Steelers because it means a lot to him. He grew up a Steelers fan. And I want for the kid. I want him to actually go to Pittsburgh and experience it too. But it's about team needs and what we need right now to win. And I think right now, O-line play last year, just sometimes it just wasn't there. You know, and my thing is I can't speak about the two guys they already got on the O-line. I mean, the guy they just brought in. I think one guy, who they bring in, the guy from Philly. What they bring in, the center from Philly, a guard from Philly or something. I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember the guy's name, but those two guys, I mean, they're okay players. And I mean, they weren't bad players. My thing is I haven't watched enough of them to actually give me my opinion on him. But I know you can never go wrong with having amount of linemen that can protect the quarterback. Because Kenny Pickett, man, he's a great QB. He just got to be stuck upright. So I'm for Joey Porter, but if we choose to not go that route, we have to get a lineman. We have to get a guy that can come in and play at right type of spot, just in case something happens with Chooks this offseason.
I agree, and I mean, and depth is a huge thing here. We've seen injuries happen a lot, right? In the past, We've seen it kind of kick us in the butt when time comes. It's just not in our favor because we don't have the depth. All things aside, let's say we do get an OT, we do get a quarterback. What's our next? What would you think is the next necessity for us? Right? They talk about how we need, and we might need another strong wide receiver, right? Or we could have a safety.
I would say that too. I would definitely say maybe a strong receiver, because getting rid of Claypool was probably a good idea last year. And then on my podcast, we did so much. I love Claypool. I just don't understand what happened wrong, because Claypool was there when I was there. I just really don't understand what happened with his career and what. I mean, I just didn't understand how every time you can be slipping and falling. So I'm still kind of mad about that one not working out, because Claypool was a big body guy that could have been used. The way he plays is the way George Pickens play is the way he should have been playing, but he didn't. I mean. But George Pickens has always been my day one. I said all the time on my podcast with Caleb. But we definitely gonna need some help, man. Deontay had really not a bad year, just had a real quiet year, especially when you're coming off a big deal that you just got. You know what I mean? People expect a lot more out of you. You know what I mean? And you kind of one of the older guys in the room, because you was there to start it off. Most of those guys are all new now. So I feel like it's a target right on Tay's back to this year, upcoming year, that he gonna really have to have a good year this year, man, that he want to stay around in Pittsburgh, because he tread on thin water right now, and he have to have a real big off season. Because me personally, I think they need to go get a receiver to replace him. And I hate to talk about my guys like this, but it's just real, man.
I know what you mean, and it's hard, because
it's hard.
You also hear people talking about potentially trading up and trading possibly Deontay. Have you given any thought to that, or like what do you think, if that's even still a possibility, or do you think they're really kind of just what?
I think it's very a possibility, because once again, Mike T's all about what you done for me lately. I mean, the last time Deontay really had a real great successful career is probably when Ben was here. When Ben was here, he had a really good year, you know what I mean? But also had Ben's leadership behind it. But now that it's time for him to be that leadership role and demand things that he needs to make sure he gets the job done. Because last year he had too quiet of a year, man, for my liking, as a person that's a huge fan of Tay and as a former teammate with Tay. So, man, George Pickens, man, he lit it up. You know what I mean? That should have been Tay's role to do, and Pickens should have been the role player, but it was opposite. So, me personally, just like I don't know how much longer Tay has there. I don't know if he'll be still here this offseason or the rest of the offseason. I'm not sure, but they definitely need to go get a guy just in protection if Tay does leave. And I mean, they go get a solid guy that can really route run just as well as Tay do. Because me personally, I think Tay's probably one of the top 5 route runners in the league right now. He's quick, he's fast. I mean, he can get in and out of his routes fast. He made guys look crazy out there. But I just don't know what happened this year. And this league doesn't wait long, man. The league doesn't wait long. The league moves quick. If you ain't getting it done, next man's up. And Tay, man, I just don't know what the future holds if you continue to have a year like he had last year.
I know. And the sad thing is that he had some gnarly catches last season. Like the catches that he's had for this past season, like he had some pretty good ones. But unfortunately, when you see someone like George Pickens come in and you see what he automatically brings to the table, it's more so like, it's kind of like,
Man, it's crazy because Pickens is definitely, man, he's a physical, like, I like the Pickens since the first day we drafted him. Just seeing the video with him in ski mask on, I was like, "Ooh, he's bringing the dog." You know what I mean? It's like they need that. That's exactly the steel curtain defense mentality for the offensive receivers right now. The receiver side of the ball, like, it's crazy because that's what you want out your receivers. He gives me Hines Ward vibes when he be singled up on that one corner and he give that shimmy and boom, he knock him on the ground. Be like, I like him. That's my dog. That's my dog. So, man, I'm super excited about George Pickens, man. Like, that's my day one, man. The reason why I say day one, because back in Pittsburgh, in the O-line room with Pouncey and Al Villanueva, all of us, and I just never understood what day ones meant. But it's like when the draft pick comes in, you get to pick one guy that you know going to be successful. And when he got drafted, I said, that's my day one right there. I know for a fact he's going to be great. Like, he's going to be great regardless of what. And he's going to play a career a long time.
Oh yeah, and it was so notable too. Even in his film, like how many receivers coming into the NFL have their technique down so well where they their first priority is making sure their feet are in bounds before they even have the ball in their hands. Like, how many guys are you seeing that play smart like that? Because you don't see it a lot. You see the guys that are so concerned with the ball in their hands, and it's like, oh, my feet are in bounds. Whoops. Like, that did nothing for you that you caught the ball. It's one step at a time, and George knows what he's doing, and I think that's what sets him apart from all of the other receivers out there.
Yeah, man, and you seen like he wants to make key plays. You heard earlier in the year, he was so unsatisfied with his performance early in the year because he had nothing to do with that. It had a lot to do with the ball not coming to him when he was wide open. That's a lot of Mitch's fault, but it is what it is, and people understood that. So no one never knocked him for not having no yards early in the year because he wasn't getting the ball. But then as Kenny started to play more, then the ball started coming more to his hands. He started seeing those flash and one-hand catches and things that you already knew he can do. Because this year right here, the sky's the limit for George Pickens, and I can't wait to see it. Like,
oh, I can't wait, and especially next season, already knowing that things are going to be better, even just starting out the season than we started last year. It is so exhilarating just to think about all of the potential that all of these guys have and what they bring to the table. And if we can get everyone in the family to come to the table and bring what they need to bring, then man, we are going to be something special. So special. 100%. You don't even see it coming. Like Bengals 100%. Ravens 2, like they're gonna be like, what are the Steelers doing? Like, did not expect that coming. No, like they're
Man, like I said, man, I'm super confident that the Steelers are always going to be one of the top contenders in the North, man. Always. It's always going to be the Steelers and Ravens. That's just the way it is. Cincy and Cleveland are always going to be fighting from behind. They always going to be fighting for the last spot because that's how trash they are. I never really liked the Cleveland or Cincinnati. I definitely, something about the Cincinnati Bengals, man, just makes my stomach boil. And I think it really pissed me off back in the year we played. I think it was 2020. When we was doing the Corvette dance back in the day with me and Juju and all the guys who did little Corvette TikTok, and we went down to Cincinnati and Von Bell put that hit on Juju. I was just like, they make me sick, man. They make me sick, man, because it was a crazy year, man. That Corvette thing was our thing, man. We was going to every logo doing that, and it was kind of lit, man. And Von Bell tried to quiet that real quick. You know what I mean? Hell of a player, though.
It makes me sad because I was actually talking about this with someone else the other day, how that alone changed the way. Would you say it kind of changed the way the Steelers and Bengals are going to meet from here on out? Because I feel like it is the games now that we play against the Bengals, there's so much heat and hatred there for God. I have no reason. I don't know when it was ever this hostile between when the Bengals came up against Steelers. It's like they're so threatened by us or something. It's like, come on, y'all. It's a game.
As long as I've been there, that's always been the same thing. Maybe it's like fans and people that watch. I don't really get to see it like that. But for us, we always felt that. Every time we got ready for them, we know it's going to be a dog fight. Get ready for cheap shots. Get ready for this. Because that's just the way it is. The Ravens always been chill. I mean, it's been a real good physical game. But Cleveland and Cincinnati, mainly for me, as I remember with Cincinnati, it was always some dirty things going on between the pals. Like, it was just the way it was. You knew coming to Cincinnati, you got to protect yourself and play hard because don't stand around, don't be not know what you're doing. You would get hurt out there, you know what I mean? So I feel like we always did. And of course, Cleveland, man, that year when Mason Rudolph got hit in the head by the Myles Garrett thing, that thing was just crazy down there, you know what I mean? So I mean, it's been a crazy rivalry, man, between those guys. I mean, I had no respect for those peoples, man, for the Cleveland and Cincinnati, man. It's just like as I continue to play with the Steelers, man, that hatred built up more. You know what I mean? And I see why fans don't like those teams. Like Cincinnati doesn't like Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh doesn't like them. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I hate seeing how the intensity, it gets so intense to where I feel like you guys want to kill each other. And it makes me so sad because it's just like, come on, it's a game at the end of the day. Like, come on, let's just play. But at the end of the day, I mean, you're fighting to the death of winning the game in a sense, right?
Yeah.
So it just, as long for me, just like, please, everybody stay safe. Like, I hate seeing people get injured. I hate seeing players get injured. So that's what my concern was, just like, man, I hope y'all just stay safe.
Yeah, man, we try.
TJ Watt went down during the Bengals game last year, right? Like that's where we saw TJ out for all of those games was because of that Bengals game, and I was like, "Damn, this is not good." Not
Oh, you
good.
talking about when TJ when he messed his shoulder up?
Yeah, against the what was the Bengals week 1? Was it week 1? It was week 1, right?
I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember TJ was going to the sideline holding his shoulder, but I don't remember what it was. I think TJ went in for a tackle. I don't think he really did. It was nothing dirty. I think he was just trying to get over on the tackle when he messed his shoulder up. TJ, man, that's a different dude, man. That is a different dude, man. It's just it's like, man, when you see him in the morning going to breakfast, it's like he reminds me of a Terminator, like literally, like
walking
he walks
around,
like really real tight, stiff walk, and it just like, and you speak, and he just give you this nice hey, and he just keep moving. It's just like real, like dude, like what type of life do you have off the field, bro? Like you like a weirdo. But no, that's my guy, man. TJ, man, he's a workaholic, man, definitely. So when he gets hurt, man, it's a rare that happens, and if he does get hurt, it's because he plays physical and plays hard. So every play he plays hard. Like there's no let up in him, and it's like if you're a guy going against TJ, you cannot let up. He will literally embarrass you.
I love that, and that's why I'm just so grateful that we have him. Honestly, so grateful that we have TJ Watt just because he's just great, great.
Yeah.
But no, I actually want to get into some. I wanted to get into some of these comments from the chat, if you don't mind. Is that okay? Can we answer some questions? So I think here. Let's see. Where do I want to start? Let's see. What do you think about Armand Watts? What do you think about bringing him into the team?
I'm not too sure on who Armand Watts is. I never heard of him. Never heard of him before.
We got him. Obviously, we just picked him up yesterday. He played with the Vikings and the Bears, and he's just another defensive tackle that we added to the roster. So
yeah, I'm not too familiar with him. I can't really speak on him. I never played against him or anything, so I don't really know too much about him.
No
I don't really like to speak about people I don't really know like that. Armand Watts.
Man. No, I get
Sorry, guys, can't speak on Armand Watts, but I'm pretty sure if we get him to Pittsburgh, he must be a pretty good player.
Exactly. And we'll see. Randy has a question. Derwin, can you explain the difficulty and difference between run blocking and pass blocking? I don't know if that's a little technical. If you want to dive into that.
Sure. So the difference between run blocking and pass blocking is exactly what it is. One, you're protected, and the other one is you're running and creating holes. And everything in football is about angles and placement in your eyes. And I would say for pass blocking, it may look easy. Maybe say just stay in front of a guy. Sometimes a little more harder than it is because these guys train, these guys work hard, these guys learn how to spin move. These dudes are doing ballerinas. They can slip beside you. So it's crazy when pass blocking, man. So it's a little middle of the game where you have to have good hands and good feet. So I would say, of course, pass blocking, you're backing up and trying to stay in front of a defender. And run blocking, you're running at a person and you're trying to displace another grown man off the spot he is and move him out the way to create a hole for Najee Harris. So once again, it's very difficult to do this, especially on the NFL level where you got guys that works just as hard as you, just as strong as you. So it's harder to move a grown man backwards, I would say. And that's just the thing. That's the difference between run blocking and pass blocking. It's just literally just being able to move a guy off the spot, going vertical for me going against him, and pass blocking, stand in front of a guy. That's the difference between run blocking and pass blocking.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Randy, for the question. I had seen Steeler Nation Australia. You actually asked a question that you might already get you're about to get the answers to. So you actually are playing currently in the USFL, correct?
Yeah. So currently I'm playing the USFL, playing right guard. We have a big weekend coming up this week. So Steeler Nation tune in this week and check me out, man. 77, still the same number 1 Pittsburgh. We're playing right guard. My running back is Bo Scarborough, and huge, man. It's about to be a fun time. We just acquired Thaddeus. We just acquired Thaddeus Moss, and it's actually Bo Scarborough interrupting right now. But yeah, man, I'm actually playing USFL right now, so yeah, I'm excited.
What's up? This is Bo Scarborough. the running back for the Birmingham Stallion, face of the USFL. I got my boy Big Gray with me. Hey, I got a big guy that gonna move the pile for me, open up some holes so we can get back to the championship. You know, that's the plan. Hey, we trying to win it all. We can go 11-1 or 12-0, but the goal is to be 1-0 week in and week out. And for everybody that's out there watching this, I want to leave y'all with this message. It's not about what you want, it's about what you're willing to do to get it.
For sure. That's my running back right there.
I love that.
So you heard it first from Bo Scarborough, man. So, man, they won a championship last year, man. Yep, there was a champs last year. They just got their rings actually Monday night. And, man, we just trying to run him back again, man. And we actually said before he came and interrupted, we just acquired Thaddeus Moss, which is Randy Moss's son. So, man, we played them Pittsburgh Maulers actually in the middle of the year in Canton, Ohio. So that's gonna be a big game. And but yeah, man, I'm playing the USFL, man. Just hopes to get another shot in the league, which I know will come as it will come into this season, man. And yeah, man, hopefully we're back with the Steelers, man, and get rolling with them. But be sure to please check out the game this weekend, man. We play against the New Jersey Generals, man. They got some good players over there, former Steelers over there as well, and it should be a good weekend here in Birmingham.
Oh, I am so excited for you. Yes, everybody, you heard what he just said. Please go check him out. And we want to bring him back to Pittsburgh. Let's bring him back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy. I've been having crazy messages about Pittsburgh and bringing me back after this USFL season back to Pittsburgh. So, man, that'll be great, man, to get back in where I started at, man, and get back around some of the guys that I played with, like Benny Snell and Deontay and all those guys, Cam Hayward. And that'll be amazing, man, after this year. So I'm going to do all I can to make sure I try to get back in Pittsburgh and continue doing the Pittsburgh show and playing at the same time. That'll be, yeah.
I love that. Okay, one more question before we head out because we got to wrap things up here soon. But Robert wants to know, who is the toughest player that you've ever played against?
Sheesh, Robert, this is different. Oh, toughest player I ever played against. Man, but so many great players, man. I played against Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa. Those are great players on the college level and the NFL level. Great players. Let's be real. Going against TJ Watt and Bud Dupree every day in practice was great, too. That was the great players. Cam Hayward was a great player. Man, I've been through so many, man. It's ridiculous, man. I would just say, if I had to pick some, I would say probably the Bosa brothers. Going against Cam Hayward every day was crazy. Going against like Tyson Alou was great players, but probably the toughest one has been for me probably was like Cam Hayward going against him because he made things so much more easier for us in the game. So, I mean, we had a superstar D-line at the time. Bud Dupree, TJ Watt, Javon Hargrave, Tyson Alou, Dan Moore. You know what I mean? Not Dan Moore. What was his name? Big Dan. What was his last name? The big D tackle guy, Dan. I forgot his last name. But Big Dan. And who else was I missing? It was just Stephon Tuitt. Like, it was this crazy D-line, man. I was like, oh, my God. That was the best D-line I've ever seen in my life. Like, to go play against them every day in practice and go to a game, it was like a walk in the park. I was like, what? These dudes are trash. Like, so.
I love it. That preparation, though, that's your preparation for the game. Like, you are so fully prepared going into your games, and that it just goes to show why we're the best. We have the best.
Yeah, man.
We're just
I'm excited. It was crazy, man. I was blessed, man, to be able to do that. So
I'm excited for you. Yeah. No, I am. Good. Only good things are about to come. I mean, great things are about to come. So I'm excited. Definitely. Well, everybody's saying good luck. Best of luck from Steeler Nation Australia. George says good luck. Claude says good luck to you. So everybody, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. We're gonna wrap things up. D, any last words for everyone?
Man. Make sure I check out the game. Be on Fox Fox and ESPN this weekend, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm not sure, but 7:30 p.m. our time in Birmingham, some Central Time. And other than that, man, follow me on Instagram, Team Gray with 2 Y's and last name of Gray, and Twitter as well, Team Gray. And man, shoot me DMs, man. Respond back, man. And enjoy your night. Be safe. Team Gray out.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today on another episode of Ask Mackenzie. I can't wait to see y'all next week to see what we talk about. So, all right, here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Have a great rest of your night.